Scene opens with a montage of people working tirelessly in different settings. A person typing away at a computer, an athlete training early in the morning, a student studying late at night. The camera pans over sweat-drenched faces, focused eyes, and exhausted postures. Narrator, voiceover, hard work and sacrifice. Two words we hear often, but words that few fully understand. We live in a world where the promise of success and achievement is often tied to the idea that hard work and sacrifice will lead us to our goals. We're told to push through the pain, to keep going no matter how tired we are, that the rewards will be worth it in the end. But what happens when the journey becomes too much? What happens when the sacrifices we make cost us more than we expected? The scene cuts to an individual looking at a calendar, days of hard work marked, with little to no rest in between. Narrator, voiceover. While hard work is undeniably important, the reality is much more complicated. The truth is that working hard doesn't always lead to immediate rewards, and sometimes it doesn't lead to the rewards we expect at all. And sacrifice, while often necessary, can come at a very steep price. So, what is the true reality of hard work and sacrifice? Let's take a closer look. The screen fades to black, and the title appears, The Reality of Hard Work and Sacrifice. Part 1. The Myth of Effortless Success. Narrator, voiceover. We live in a world that glorifies the hustle, the idea that success is just around the corner for those who are willing to put in the work. Social media is flooded with images of perfect lives, perfect bodies, and perfect careers. But behind those images are untold stories of late nights, failures, and countless struggles. We see the outcome, but rarely do we see the process. We rarely see the grind, the exhaustion, and the sacrifices that were made along the way. Scene shows a person scrolling through their social media feed, seeing photos of other successful individuals in glamorous settings. They look down at their own desk, papers scattered around, exhaustion on their face. Narrator, voiceover. It's easy to get caught up in the narrative that success should come quickly and effortlessly. We look at others who have achieved greatness and assume it was just a matter of talent, luck, or circumstance. But that's far from the truth. Example: the journey of Elon Musk. Take Elon Musk, for instance. Musk's success with companies like Tesla and SpaceX is legendary, but few know the depth of sacrifice it took to get there. Musk invested everything, his money, his time, his relationships, into his ventures. He worked relentlessly, even sleeping on the floor of his office when things were tough. His story wasn't about instant success, but rather about failing, learning, and continually pushing forward despite immense hardship. Narrator, voiceover. Success is not as glamorous as it appears in the headlines. It's filled with setbacks, disappointment, and constant, often painful effort. And while hard work is a necessary component of success, we need to understand that success doesn't always come in the form we expect. Sometimes, it takes years of effort before you see the results, and those years are filled with sacrifice. Part 2. The Cost of Sacrifice. Narrator, voiceover. Sacrifice is often romanticized in the pursuit of success. We hear about how great leaders, entrepreneurs, and creatives sacrificed everything to get ahead. They gave up their time, their money, and sometimes even their personal lives for the sake of their dreams. But sacrifice isn't always a straight path to success. It's important to understand that the cost of sacrifice isn't just measured in the hours you put in, or the things you give up. It's measured in the toll it takes on you and the people around you. Scene cuts to a business person sitting alone at their desk late at night, while their phone rings off the hook. The person ignores it, and the screen shows a missed call from a family member. Narrator, voiceover. When you sacrifice your time, relationships often suffer. Family dinners are missed, vacations are skipped, and friendships fade into the background. At first, it's easy to brush it off. You tell yourself it's for the greater good, that once you achieve your goal, things will go back to normal. But what happens when that time spent away from loved ones adds up? What happens when the connections that once brought you comfort and joy are no longer there because you were too busy? Example: the story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is often hailed as one of the greatest innovators of our time, but his story also highlights the cost of relentless sacrifice. Jobs was known for his obsession with his work, often at the expense of his family life. His relationship with his daughter Lisa was strained for many years, and he was absent from many important moments in the lives of his loved ones.